All right, today we're diving into the story of a footballer who became so much more than just an athlete. He became a global icon. This is the story of Mohamed Salah.
So let's start with a number, but it's got nothing to do with goals or assists. The number is 1 million. That's roughly how many Egyptians, back in the 2018 presidential election, crossed out the actual candidates and wrote Mohamed Salah's name on their ballots instead.
I mean, that one fact tells you pretty much everything you need to know about his status. So how does that happen? To really get it, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning of his incredible journey.
Salah's story doesn't begin under bright stadium lights. Nope, it starts in a small farming village in Egypt called Nagreg. And it was here that his passion for football demanded a level of sacrifice that is, well, it's almost unbelievable for someone so young.
Just look at this. This was his daily grind. At just 14 years old, he was spending 4 hours on multiple buses every single day just for the chance to train. It's a testament to a kind of dedication that honestly borders on obsession. He made a choice that most kids just aren't thinking about.
He flew up through the ranks in the Egyptian league, but then his career was just thrown into chaos. A national tragedy, the Port Said Stadium riot, forced the entire league to be suspended. For a lot of players, that was it. Game over. But for Salah, it led to a single friendly match against a Swiss club, FC Basel. And that one opportunity, it changed his life forever. You know, his move to Europe wasn't exactly a smooth ride. It was a massive culture shock. He went from the heat of Egypt to the freezing cold of Switzerland, trying to figure out a new language, new food, all while dealing with the insane pressure of a totally different football world.
So in Switzerland with Basel, he was a rising star, no doubt, winning titles, catching the eye of all the big clubs. But then came the high-profile move to Chelsea under Jose Mourinho, and it was a brutal reality check. He barely played. He struggled to adapt. It was a huge roadblock that honestly could have ended his Premier League dream right there.
And here's the ironic part. Mourinho himself saw all the potential, right? He praised his speed, his creativity, but, praise just wasn't enough. Salah simply wasn't ready for the raw physical power of English football, and his time in London, well, it just fizzled out.
So, needing a fresh start, a place to really prove himself, Salah made a game-changing move to Italy. First on loan to Fiorentina, and then to Roma. And it was in Rome that he would completely, and I mean completely, reinvent himself as a player.
See, at Roma, he learned from his manager, Luciano Spalletti, that just being fast, that's not enough. He needed tactical smarts. So instead of just running down the wing, he was taught how to make these clever diagonal runs inside, behind the defense. He worked on his movement, his decision-making, and the big one, his finishing. He went from being just a fast guy to a lethal, complete attacking weapon.
And hey, the proof is right here in the numbers. His goal tally climbed up, and his last season at Roma was a career best. This put him right back on the radar of Europe's biggest clubs, including one that had some unfinished business in England. So in 2017, Salah returns to the Premier League, signing for Liverpool in a club record deal. And a lot of people were skeptical. I mean, they were calling it a huge gamble on a Chelsea reject. Well, he answered those doubters almost immediately. 32. In his very first season, he scored an incredible 32 goals in the league. This wasn't just good, it was historic. He completely shattered the all-time scoring record for a 38-game Premier League season and won the Golden Boot. The doubters were, well, they were silenced.
That absolute dream of a season, though, it had a nightmare ending. In his first Champions League final, a tangle with Sergio Ramos led to a really bad shoulder injury. He had to leave the field in tears, and Liverpool went on to lose the biggest game in club football. Just devastating.
But this whole story is about resilience, right? So just 1 year later, Liverpool and Salah are right back in the final. And this time, there was no heartbreak. Salah steps up, scores a penalty in the first couple of minutes, and sets his team on the path to redemption and European glory. And that victory? It just kicked off a golden era for the club. That Champions League win was the first of many, many trophies, including the one that Liverpool fans wanted more than anything, the Premier League title, finally ending a painful 30-year wait.
But Salah's impact, you can't measure it in trophies alone. His time at Liverpool has just been a relentless assault on the record books, cementing his legacy and turning him into a true cultural force.
I mean, just look at these records. It's the sheer mind-bending consistency. He didn't just have one amazing season. He became the first Liverpool player ever to score 20 goals in 7 straight seasons and completely obliterated the club's all-time Premier League scoring record. He basically rewrote what everyone thought was possible.
And pretty quickly, his influence went way beyond the sport. He became a national hero, a symbol of hope for millions in Egypt and all across the Arab world. It's no wonder Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people back in 2019.
And he's used that platform for so much good. He's funded hospitals and schools back in his hometown, he's donated to help rebuild a church after a fire, and he's become this powerful voice advocating for women's equality in the Middle East.
You know, maybe his legendary Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp put it best. For all the incredible records and all the stunning goals, it's the character of the man, his humanity, that really defines his greatness.
Mohamed Salah's journey from that small village of Nagrig to the heights of Anfield, from a determined boy on a bus to a global icon, it shows us that the lines of a football pitch are really only the beginning.